First contact and brewing tensions. The vast expanse of space had never seemed so small to Captain Zara Voss as she stood on the bridge of the Terran Alliance flagship, the TSA Horizon. The view screen before her displayed a tapestry of stars, punctuated by the looming silhouette of an alien vessel. Its design was unlike anything humanity had encountered in their centuries of space exploration, all sleek curves and pulsating bioluminescent patterns. "Status report," Zara commanded, her voice steady despite the tension crackling through the air. Her first officer, Lieutenant Commander Aiden Chen, responded promptly. "The alien vessel is holding position, Captain. No signs of weapons charging, but their shields remain at full strength. They're hailing us again." Zara nodded, her short silver hair catching the light of the bridge's holographic displays. On screen, Aiden. "Let's see what our new neighbors have to say." The view screen flickered, and the image of the alien ship was replaced by a face that seemed to defy conventional understanding of biology. Multiple eyes blinked in asynchronous patterns across a face that appeared to be a blend of avian and reptilian features. When it spoke, its mandibles clicked and hummed in harmony with a translator's monotone voice. "Greetings, beings of Earth. I am High Emissary Cleverness of the Galactic Conclave. We have been observing your civilization for some time and have deemed you worthy of first contact. We come with an offer of alliance and advancement." Zara's emerald eyes narrowed slightly. Years of diplomatic training had taught her to read between the lines, even when those lines were being delivered by an alien entity. "High Emissary Cleverness, I am Captain Zara Voss of the Terran Alliance. We are honored by your presence and intrigued by your offer. However, I must ask, why now? Humanity has been exploring the stars for centuries." The alien's multiple eyes blinked in rapid succession, a gesture Zara interpreted as surprise or possibly amusement. "Your species has recently achieved a level of technological sophistication that has caught our attention. Specifically, your advancements in quantum entanglement communication and dark matter manipulation. These achievements suggest you are ready to join the greater galactic community." As Cleric spoke, Zara caught Aiden's eye. A silent understanding passed between them. This wasn't just a friendly visit, it was an evaluation. "We appreciate your recognition of our achievements," Zara replied carefully. "However, I'm curious about the nature of this alliance you propose. What would it entail for humanity?" The alien's mandibles clicked rapidly before the translator caught up. "The Galactic Conclave offers protection, advanced technologies, and access to trade routes spanning thousands of worlds. In return, we ask for your cooperation in our ongoing efforts to maintain peace and order in the galaxy." Zara's instincts, honed by years of command, were screaming caution. "That sounds like a generous offer, High Emissary. However, as representatives of humanity, we would need time to consult with our government and people before making any decisions. Surely you understand the importance of such deliberations." For a moment, a flicker of what might have been irritation passed across Clerix's alien features. "Of course, Captain Voss. We understand the need for democratic processes. However, I must stress that the galaxy is a dangerous place for unaligned worlds. There are entities out there that would not be as patient as the Conclave. We offer protection, but that offer is time-sensitive." The implied threat wasn't lost on Zara or her crew. She maintained her diplomatic smile, but her voice carried a hint of steel when she responded. "We appreciate your concern, High Emissary. Rest assured, humanity has faced its share of challenges and emerged stronger for them. We look forward to further discussions, but we will do so at a pace that allows for proper consideration of all implications." Clerix's multiple eyes blinked in unison, and its mandibles clicked softly. "Very well, Captain. We will remain in orbit around your moon to await your decision. But do not take too long. The cosmos waits for no one, not even a species as intriguing as yours." As the communication ended and the view screen returned to the image of the alien ship, Zara turned to her crew. The bridge was silent, the weight of the encounter heavy in the air. "Opinions?" she asked, her gaze sweeping across the faces of her senior staff. Iden was the first to speak. "It smells like a protection racket to me, Captain. They're dangling advanced tech in front of us, while hinting at nebulous threats. Classic coercion tactic." Dr. Lyra Okoye, the ship's xenobiologist, chimed in. "From a biological standpoint, their physiology suggests a highly advanced species, the ability to survive in various environments. It's fascinating, but that doesn't necessarily translate to benevolence." "What about their tech?" Zara asked, turning to her chief engineer. Commander Ravi Sharma stroked his beard thoughtfully. "If they're not bluffing, their tech is leagues beyond ours. The energy readings from their ship alone. It's like comparing a fusion reactor to a campfire. But that's all the more reason to be cautious. We don't want to end up like the indigenous peoples who were overwhelmed by technologically superior colonizers in Earth's history." Zara nodded, absorbing the input. "Agreed. We need more information, and we need to buy time. Iden, send a message to Earth Command. Brief them on the situation and request instructions. Lyra, I want you to analyze every scrap of data we have on these aliens. Biology, technology, behavior. Anything that might give us an edge in negotiations. Ravi, work with tactical. If things go south, I want options." As her crew sprang into action, Zara turned back to the view screen, studying the alien vessel. Its bioluminescent patterns pulsed slowly, almost hypnotically. She couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter was just the beginning of something much larger. A cosmic game of chess where humanity was suddenly thrust onto the board as an unwitting pawn. "What are you really after?" she murmured to herself, her reflection in the view screen overlaying the image of the alien ship. The stars beyond seemed to twinkle in response, holding secrets that humanity was only beginning to unravel. As the TSS Horizon maintained its vigilant orbit, the crew worked tirelessly to unravel the mystery of their new galactic neighbors. But even as they gathered data and formulated strategies, events were unfolding across the solar system that would soon force humanity's hand. On Mars, the fledgling colony's long-range sensors picked up anomalous readings from the outer reaches of the solar system. Multiple objects, moving at impossible speeds, were decelerating as they approached the orbit of Neptune. Earth's lunar bases reported similar findings, their more advanced arrays providing clearer data on the incoming anomalies. Back on Earth, governments scrambled to respond to the sudden appearance of the alien envoy. Emergency sessions were called, military assets were mobilized, and the planet's greatest minds were summoned to offer their insights. The news of first contact spread like wildfire across the globe, igniting a mixture of hope, fear, and wild speculation among the populace. As the hours ticked by, Captain Zara Voss found herself at the center of a brewing storm. The fate of humanity might well rest on the decisions made in the coming days, and she was determined to ensure that whatever path they chose, it would be on humanity's terms. Little did she know that far beyond the reach of her sensors, hidden in the shadows of the cosmos, other eyes were watching. Ancient eyes, belonging to entities that saw the galactic conclave's overtures to Earth as a threat to the delicate balance of power they had maintained for eons. As humanity pondered its place in the greater galactic community, unseen forces were already moving to influence the outcome. The stage was set for a conflict that would reshape the destiny of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. And at the heart of it all, a mystery waited to be unraveled, a mystery that would reveal the true nature of humanity's role in the cosmic order. The Galactic Alliance's dilemma. The holographic display in the center of the United Earth Council chamber pulsed with an eerie blue light, projecting a three-dimensional image of the solar system. Dozens of red dots blinked ominously, representing the alien fleet that had materialized at the edges of Earth's celestial neighborhood. Admiral Helena Frost, her silver hair pulled back in a tight bun, stood before the assembled world leaders. Her weathered face bore the lines of countless battles and sleepless nights, but her steel-gray eyes burned with unwavering determination. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's future, The situation has escalated beyond our initial assessments. What began as a single alien envoy has now become a fleet of unprecedented size and capability. Murmurs rippled through the chamber as the gravity of the situation sank in. The Admiral continued, her voice steady despite the tension. Our long-range scans indicate technology far beyond our current understanding. Energy readings suggest weapons capable of reducing entire continents to ash in moments. President Amara Okafor of the African Union leaned forward, her brow furrowed. Admiral, what are our options? Surely we can't just sit idly by while this alien armada closes in on Earth. Admiral Frost nodded gravely. We've been in constant communication with Captain Voss aboard the TSS Horizon. Her diplomatic efforts have bought us time. But the aliens, who call themselves the Galactic Conclave, are growing impatient. They're demanding an answer to their offer of alliance within the next 48 hours. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices, each leader voicing concerns and proposing strategies. It was Chancellor Zhao of the Pan-Asian Coalition who finally brought order back to the proceedings with a sharp rap of his gavel. Enough, he thundered. We cannot afford to bicker amongst ourselves. Admiral Frost, what does our intelligence suggest about the Conclave's true intentions? The Admiral's lips thinned into a grim line. Our analysis, corroborated by Captain Voss's observations, suggests that this is no mere offer of alliance. The Conclave's behavior bears all the hallmarks of a sophisticated subjugation strategy. They offer protection from threats that conveniently materialize shortly after their arrival. Classic empire-building tactics. Dr. Ilara Singh, Earth's foremost xenoanthropologist, stepped forward. Her dark eyes glittered with a mixture of fascination and concern. If I may, Council members, my team has been analyzing the limited cultural data we've gleaned from our interactions with the Conclave. Their society appears to be built on a strict hierarchy, with technological advancement being the primary measure of a species' worth. To them, we are likely seen as promising, but ultimately inferior beings to be shaped according to their will. The room fell silent as the implications of Dr. Singh's words sank in. It was President Maria Gonzalez of the South American Federation who broke the silence. So we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. Accept their alliance and become pawns in their galactic game, or refuse and face annihilation. Admiral Frost's voice cut through the gloom. Not necessarily. There's another factor at play here, one that the Conclave seems unusually interested in. All eyes turned to the Admiral as she manipulated the holographic display. The image zoomed in on a nondescript facility nestled in the Rocky Mountains. Project Aegis, Frost announced. For the past decade, our top scientists have been working on a revolutionary defensive technology, something that could change the balance of power not just on Earth, but potentially across the galaxy. Dr. Alexander Volkov, a gaunt man with piercing blue eyes, stepped forward. As the lead scientist of Project Aegis, his next words held the room spellbound. What we've created, he said, his accented voice tinged with both pride and trepidation, is nothing short of a paradigm shift in defensive capabilities. Imagine a shield that doesn't just absorb or deflect energy, but redirects it. A barrier that can turn an attacker's strength against them. The holographic display shifted, showing simulations of energy weapons harmlessly dissipating against an invisible barrier, their power somehow reflected back towards their source. It's not just a shield, Volkov continued. It's a statement, a declaration that humanity will not be bullied or coerced. We may not have the offensive capabilities to match the Conclave, but with Aegis, we don't need to. We just need to make the cost of attacking us too high to contemplate. A spark of hope ignited in the eyes of the assembled leaders, but President Okafor remained skeptical. This is all theoretical, isn't it, Dr. Volkov? We're betting the future of our species on an untested technology. Volkov's thin lips curved into a smile. Not entirely untested, Madam President. We've successfully shielded our facility from orbital scans. That's why the Conclave hasn't detected it. And our small-scale tests have exceeded all expectations. We're ready for a full-scale deployment. Admiral Frost took control of the conversation once more. This is where we stand, Council members. We have a choice to make. Do we reveal Project Aegis to the Conclave as a show of strength? Do we keep it hidden as an ace up our sleeve? Or do we attempt to bluff our way through negotiations while we buy time to fully deploy the system? The chamber buzzed with urgent discussions. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and every second counted. As the debate raged, a junior officer rushed into the room, his face pale with urgency. "Admiral," he gasped, "we're receiving a priority transmission from the TSS Horizon. Captain Voss reports that the Conclave fleet is powering up weapons. They're demanding an immediate answer, or they'll begin orbital bombardment of major cities as a demonstration of their power." The room fell deathly silent. The time for debate was over. Humanity's response to the galaxy's ultimatum would shape the destiny of Earth for generations to come. Admiral Frost straightened her uniform, her eyes sweeping across the faces of Earth's leaders. "Well, ladies and gentlemen, what's it going to be? Do we bow to the Conclave's demands, or do we show the galaxy that humanity is not to be trifled with?" As the council members looked at one another, weighing the monumental decision before them, a strange energy seemed to fill the room. It was more than just tension or fear. It was the collective will of a species that had clawed its way from caves to the stars, facing extinction-level threats time and time again, only to emerge stronger. President Gonzalez stood, her voice ringing with resolve. "We are the children of explorers and revolutionaries, of dreamers and fighters. We did not come this far to kneel before the first advanced civilization we encounter. I say we show them exactly what humanity is capable of." One by one, the other leaders nodded their agreement. Admiral Frost allowed herself a small, fierce smile. "Very well. Dr. Volkov, begin full deployment of Project Aegis. I'll inform Captain Voss to prepare for our response." She turned to face the holographic display of Earth, surrounded by the looming threat of the Conclave fleet. "Let's show these aliens that they've picked the wrong species to intimidate." As the room erupted into a flurry of activity, no one noticed the small, spider-like drone that detached itself from the shadowy corner of the ceiling. Its mission complete, it scuttled towards a ventilation shaft, carrying with it information that would soon set in motion events beyond even the Conclave's comprehension. In the vast tapestry of the galaxy, new threads were being woven, threads that would either bind humanity in chains or elevate it to heights unimagined. And at the center of it all, a technology that defied the laws of physics as the Conclave understood them. Project Aegis was about to change everything, and the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity's unexpected solution. The bridge of the TSS Horizon hummed with nervous energy as Captain Zara Voss stared at the looming form of the Conclave flagship on the main view screen. The alien vessel's bioluminescent patterns pulsed with an increasingly aggressive rhythm, a visual representation of the Conclave's waning patience. "Captain," Lieutenant Commander Aiden Chen's voice cut through the tension. "We're receiving a transmission from Earth Command. Priority Alpha." Zara nodded, her emerald eyes never leaving the alien ship. "In my ready room, Aiden. You have the bridge." As the door to her ready room hissed shut behind her, Zara took a deep breath, centering herself before activating the secure comm channel. The holographic form of Admiral Frost materialized before her, the older woman's face a mask of grim determination. "Captain Voss," the Admiral began without preamble, "the situation has escalated. The United Earth Council has made its decision. We're deploying Project Aegis." Zara's eyebrows shot up in surprise. "Aegis? But Admiral, I thought that was still in the theoretical stages." A ghost of a smile flickered across Frost's face. "It seems desperation is the mother of innovation, Captain. Dr. Volkov and his team have been working around the clock. The system is ready for full-scale deployment." The implications raced through Zora's mind. If Aegis worked as intended, it could change everything. But if it failed, "What are my orders?" Admiral, your job, Captain, is to buy us time. Keep the Conclave talking for as long as you can. We need every second to bring Aegis online. The Admiral's image flickered slightly, a reminder of the vast distance between them. And Zara, be prepared for anything. We don't know how the Conclave will react once Aegis is active. As the transmission ended, Zara allowed herself a moment to process the enormity of what was about to unfold. Then, squaring her shoulders, she strode back onto the bridge. Aiden, hail the Conclave flagship. It's time we continued our discussion. The view screen flickered to life, revealing the alien visage of High Emissary Cleverness. Its multiple eyes blinked in asynchronous patterns, mandibles clicking in what Zara had come to recognize as irritation. Captain Voss, the translator rendered Cleverness's clicks and hums into crisp English. Your species' propensity for delay tests the limits of our patience. The Conclave demands your answer. Will Earth accept our generous offer of alliance, or will you force us to demonstrate the consequences of defiance? Zara met the alien's gaze unflinchingly. High Emissary, surely a species as advanced as yours understands the complexities of global decision-making. Our world is diverse, with many voices that must be heard. We ask for just a little more time. Time, Cleverness interrupted, its mandibles clacking furiously, is a luxury you no longer possess. Perhaps a demonstration of our power will accelerate your decision-making process. The view screen split, showing a real-time image of Earth. A bright beam of energy lanced out from one of the Conclave ships, streaking towards the planet's surface. Zara's heart raced, but she forced herself to remain calm. This was it, the moment of truth. As the energy beam approached Earth's atmosphere, something extraordinary happened. An iridescent barrier flickered into existence, enveloping the entire planet like a second skin. The Conclave's weapon struck the shield and disappeared. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, suddenly, the Conclave ship that had fired the shot shuddered violently, its bioluminescent patterns flaring in what could only be described as pain. Cleverness's multiple eyes widened in shock. Impossible, it breathed, forgetting for a moment that its words were being translated. What manner of technology is this? Zara allowed herself a small, fierce smile. High Emissary, allow me to introduce you to Project Aegis, a little insurance policy we've been working on. As you can see, humanity is not as defenseless as you might have assumed. The bridge of the TSS Horizon erupted in cheers, the crew's earlier tension transforming into triumphant euphoria. But Zara's celebration was short-lived. Something about the Conclave's reaction didn't sit right with her. Her suspicions were confirmed when Cleverness's initial shock gave way to something far more concerning. Fascination. Captain Voss, the alien's voice had taken on a new tone, one of intense interest. It seems we have underestimated your species. This technology, it defies our understanding of physics. The Conclave would be very interested in studying it further. A chill ran down Zora's spine. They had hoped Aegis would deter the Conclave, not entice them further. She opened her mouth to respond, but before she could, alarms blared across the bridge. Captain, Aiden's voice was urgent. We're detecting massive energy buildups across the Conclave fleet. They're repositioning, surrounding Earth in a spherical formation. Zara's mind raced. This wasn't a retreat. It was a new strategy. Transmit to Earth Command. The Conclave isn't backing down. They're after Aegis. As if to confirm her fears, Cleverness spoke again, its earlier diplomatic veneer stripped away. Captain Voss, the Conclave thanks you for this revelation. Your Aegis technology will usher in a new era of Conclave dominance across the galaxy. Prepare to be boarded. Resistance is inadvisable. The view screen went dark, replaced by the ominous sight of the Conclave fleet taking up attack positions around Earth. Aegis had been meant to be humanity's shield. Now it had become a target. Zara's voice cut through the chaos on the bridge. Battle stations. All hands prepare for combat. We are not going down without a fight. As the TSS Horizon's weapon systems came online, Zara couldn't help but wonder. Had humanity's solution just become its greatest threat? And somewhere in the back of her mind, a nagging question formed. How had the Conclave reacted so quickly to Aegis? It was almost as if they had been expecting it. Little did Zara know, far beyond the unfolding drama in Earth's orbit, other forces were stirring. Forces that had been waiting, watching, for this very moment. The true nature of Aegis and humanity's role in the cosmic order was about to be revealed. And the galaxy would never be the same. The red button revealed. The United Earth Council chamber had become a war room, holographic displays showing real-time updates of the unfolding crisis in orbit. Admiral Frost stood at the center, her face illuminated by the eerie glow of tactical readouts. The Conclave fleet has Earth surrounded, she reported, her voice tight with controlled tension. They're probing Aegis with increasingly powerful energy bursts, looking for weaknesses. Dr. Volkov, his usually immaculate lab coat wrinkled from days without rest, stepped forward. Aegis is holding, but each attack is more sophisticated than the last. They're learning, adapting. I don't know how long we can maintain the shield under this assault. President Okafor's voice cut through the din. What about our own fleet? Surely we're not just going to sit here and let them hammer away at us. Admiral Frost shook her head grimly. Our ships are engaged, but we're outnumbered and outgunned. The TSS Horizon is leading a valiant defense, but she trailed off, the unspoken truth hanging heavy in the air. Earth's military might was a candle against the inferno of the Conclave's power. As if summoned by the Admiral's words, a priority transmission cut through the strategic chatter. Captain Zara Voss's face appeared on the main screen, her uniform smudged with soot, a thin line of blood trickling from a cut above her eye. Earth Command, she began, her voice steady despite the chaos visible behind her. The Horizon has sustained heavy damage. We've lost our main weapons array and shields are critical. But we've discovered something you need to know. She paused, taking a deep breath. The Conclave knew about Aegis before we deployed it. They were prepared for it. There's a leak somewhere, at the highest levels. The chamber erupted into a cacophony of accusations and denials. Admiral Frost silenced them with a thunderous command. Enough. Captain Voss, can you hold your position? Zara's image flickered, static cutting through her words. Negative, Admiral. We're burning up our last reserves just staying in one piece. We need to rate her. Her transmission cut off abruptly. For a moment, stunned silence reigned in the council chamber. Then, slowly, all eyes turned to Dr. Volkov. The scientist stood rigid, his face a mask of conflicting emotions. Dr. Volkov, Admiral Frost's voice was dangerously low. Is there something you'd like to share with us? The scientist's shoulders slumped, the weight of secrets finally becoming too much to bear. Aegis isn't entirely of human origin, he confessed, his words barely above a whisper. The room temperature seemed to drop several degrees. Explain, President Okafor demanded. Volkov moved to a control panel, his fingers dancing across the interface. A section of the chamber's wall slid away, revealing a hidden alcove. Within it sat a simple pedestal, and atop that pedestal, a button. Chancellor Zhao's incredulous voice broke the silence. All this fuss over a button. But it wasn't just any button. It was a perfect circle of what appeared to be red glass, seamlessly integrated into a base of an unknown, softly glowing material. It pulsed with an inner light, as if alive. 10 years ago, Volkov began, his voice gaining strength as he spoke. This artifact was discovered during a deep space mining operation in the Kuiper Belt. We thought it was just an unusual mineral formation at first, but then we realized it was technology. Technology beyond anything we'd ever encountered. Admiral Frost's eyes narrowed. And you kept this from Earth's leadership, from me. Volkov met her gaze unflinchingly. We had to. The artifact came with a warning, encoded in its very structure. It spoke of a test, a crucible that humanity would face. We were told that when the time came, we would know to press the button. But we were also warned that to do so prematurely would be catastrophic. The implications hung heavy in the air. Earth's greatest defensive technology, the ace up humanity's sleeve, was alien in origin, and now the very beings it was meant to protect them from were at their doorstep. If the conclave knew about this, President Gonzalez mused, it would explain their sudden interest in Earth. This artifact must be incredibly important to them. As if in response to her words, the button's pulsing increased in intensity. The air in the chamber grew thick with an almost electric charge. Dr. Volkov's eyes widened. "It's never done that before," he whispered, a mixture of fear and excitement in his voice. I think it's time." Admiral Frost stepped towards the pedestal, her hand hovering over the pulsing red surface. The fate of humanity could rest on this decision, she said, her voice heavy with the weight of responsibility. "If we press this, there's no telling what might happen." President Okafor moved to stand beside her. "And if we don't, the conclave will eventually break through Aegis. We'll be defenseless." The chamber fell silent, the fate of Earth hanging in the balance. The distant rumble of conclave weaponry impacting Aegis could be felt even through the shielded bunker. Admiral Frost took a deep breath, her hand inching closer to the button. "For Earth," she whispered, and pressed down. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the button sank into its base with a soft click. A wave of energy, invisible but palpable, emanated from the artifact. It passed through the walls of the chamber as if they weren't there, expanding outward at impossible speed. In orbit, the crew of the battered TSS Horizon watched in awe as a shimmering wave washed over Earth, then expanded outward. It passed through the conclave fleet harmlessly, continuing on into the depths of space. On the conclave flagship, High Emissary Cleverness felt a tremor of fear for the first time in centuries. By the first ones, it breathed. They've activated the Nexus key. As the energy wave continued its journey out into the cosmos, ancient mechanisms stirred to life. In the space between galaxies, colossal structures that had lain dormant for eons began to awaken. And across the universe, a message began to propagate, faster than light, faster than thought. The test is complete. Humanity has proven worthy. Let the ascension begin. Back on Earth, as alarms blared and systems registered unprecedented energy readings, Admiral Frost turned to the astonished faces of Earth's leaders. "I think," she said, a hint of wonder in her voice, "we're going to need a bigger fleet." The red button continued to pulse, but now it seemed almost expectant. Humanity's journey was just beginning, and the stars themselves waited to see what they would do next. A new era for the galaxy. The Great Hall of the Galactic Concord hummed with an energy unlike anything seen in millennia. Representatives from 1,000 worlds filled the vast chamber, their diverse forms a testament to the sheer variety of life in the cosmos. At the center of it all, on a raised dais, stood a delegation that had become the focus of every eye, ear, and sensory appendage in the galaxy: the humans. Captain Zora Voss, now adorned with the insignia of an admiral, stood at the forefront of the Earth delegation. Beside her, Dr. Volkov fidgeted nervously with a datapad, while President Okafor exuded an aura of calm authority. The events of the past year had aged them all, but there was a fire in their eyes that spoke of newfound purpose. As the assembly quieted, a being of pure energy floated forward. This was the avatar of the precursors, a race so ancient and advanced that they had transcended physical form eons ago. Esteemed members of the Galactic Concord, the avatar's voice resonated in the minds of all present. We stand at a crossroads of cosmic importance. For millions of years, we precursors have watched and waited, seeking a species worthy of inheriting our legacy. Today, we announce that such a species has been found. A ripple of murmurs swept through the gathered representatives. The avatar continued, its light pulsing with each word. Humanity, in activating the Nexus key, has demonstrated not only the technological aptitude to wield our gifts, but also the wisdom to use them judiciously. They faced extinction at the hands of the conclave, yet chose understanding over retaliation. At this, several conclave representatives shifted uncomfortably. Their once mighty empire had crumbled in the wake of humanity's ascension, their fleets rendered impotent by technologies they could scarcely comprehend. Admiral Voss stepped forward, her voice carrying across the vast chamber. "We come before you not as conquerors, but as partners. The gifts of the precursors have opened our eyes to wonders beyond imagination, but they have also shown us the responsibility that comes with such power." She gestured to the holographic display that sprang to life above the dais. It showed the solar system, but not as anyone had ever seen it before. Massive structures orbited the sun, harnessing its energy on a scale once thought impossible. The planets themselves seemed to glow with an inner light, transformed by technologies that bordered on magic. Project Aegis, Voss continued, was but the first step. With the guidance of the precursors, we have unlocked the secrets of zero-point energy, faster than light travel, and even the manipulation of space-time itself. But we recognize that these advancements mean nothing if not used for the betterment of all. Dr. Volkov stepped forward, his earlier nervousness replaced by passionate enthusiasm. "We propose a new age of galactic cooperation. Our scientists are eager to work alongside researchers from every world to explore the frontiers of knowledge together. Already, we've made breakthroughs in medicine that could extend lifespans across 100 species." President Okafor's voice rang out next, filled with diplomatic grace. "But more than technology, we offer a vision of a united galaxy. The precursors chose us not for our strength, but for our capacity for empathy, our drive to understand rather than dominate. We extend an open hand to all species, even those who once sought our destruction." Her gaze fell pointedly on the conclave representatives, who had the grace to look abashed. The avatar of the precursors pulsed with approval. "It is this spirit that has earned humanity the right to lead the galaxy into a new era. But make no mistake, this is not a coronation, but a challenge. Humanity will face trials that will test their resolve, their wisdom, and their very conception of existence." As if on cue, the holographic display above the dais shifted, showing the vast, unexplored reaches beyond the galaxy's edge. Strange energies pulsed in the void, hinting at realities beyond comprehension. Admiral Voss's voice was filled with determination as she addressed the assembly. "We accept this challenge, not just for humanity, but for all sentient life. The universe is vast and full of wonders, but also dangers beyond our current understanding. United, we can face whatever lies beyond the cosmic veil." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of cheers, whistles, and other sounds of approval from myriad species. Even the conclave representatives, after a moment's hesitation, joined in the ovation. As the applause died down, the avatar of the precursors spoke one last time. "The age of division is over. The age of unity begins. Go forth, children of the cosmos, and write the next chapter of galactic history together." With a flash of blinding light, the avatar vanished, leaving behind a sense of limitless possibility. In the days and weeks that followed, the galaxy saw changes at a pace never before witnessed. Former enemies became allies, pooling their resources and knowledge. The secrets unlocked by humanity's activation of the Nexus Key led to advancements that transformed worlds overnight. Barren planets bloomed with life, while species on the brink of extinction found new hope in rejuvenated ecosystems. But even as they celebrated their newfound unity and purpose, the leaders of the Galactic Concord knew that greater challenges lay ahead. The pulsing energies beyond the galaxy's edge served as a constant reminder that they were not alone in the cosmos and that their journey was far from over. On the bridge of the TSS Horizon, now transformed into a ship of exploration rather than war, Admiral Zara Voss gazed out at the star-studded expanse. The ship hummed with energies that defied conventional physics, ready to leap beyond the boundaries of known space. "Admiral," her first officer reported, "all systems are go. The Concorde fleet is in formation, awaiting your command." Zara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. With a slight smile, she gave the order that would propel humanity and its allies into a future bright with promise and fraught with peril. "Take us out, Commander, to the edge of forever." As the TSS Horizon led the fleet into the unknown, the red button that had started it all pulsed one last time in its secure vault on Earth. Its purpose fulfilled, it slowly faded away, leaving behind a legacy that would echo through eternity. The story of humanity's rise from a single world to guardians of the galaxy would be told and retold across countless worlds and civilizations. But for those who lived it, who stood at the threshold of cosmic destiny, it was more than just a tale of triumph. It was a reminder that in the vast, often terrifying expanse of the universe, hope and unity could overcome any obstacle. And so, as the fleet vanished into the depths of uncharted space, they carried with them not just the hopes of humanity, but the dreams of an entire galaxy. The greatest adventure in cosmic history had begun, and its final chapters were yet to be written.